This is Evan Cohen. Listen to Unsportsmanlike with me, along with Michelle Smallman and Chris Canty. Weekdays, 6 a.m. here on ESPN 106.3.
Hey, golf fans, Colin Russo here. Looking to improve your game? Flagstick Golf Performance, the ultimate indoor golf experience, is now open in Boynton Beach. With 3 indoor simulators and a state-of-the-art putting studio, Flagstick helps players at all levels up their game. Get lessons from experts, try the latest clubs, or just come up for a round in the simulators. You can track your stats and see real improvement. Flagstick is where serious golfers and beginners find their edge. Bring your friends or family and enjoy golf like never before. Visit flagstickgolfperformance.com to book your session.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Florida Atlantic women's basketball season is here. Join head coach Jennifer Sullivan and star guards Maya Perry and Jada Moore at Eleanor R. Baldwin Arena this year for big-time college basketball action. Groups of 15 or more get in free. Single game tickets just $10. The band, the cheerleaders, the fun, the action, it's all there with Florida Atlantic women's basketball. Visit FAUsports.com for more information. Florida Atlantic Owls, winning in paradise.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It's more likely that Ray Lewis becomes the head coach of FAU football than Boise State or Indiana being better than Georgia? I mean, come on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man, your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey back at it again on a Wednesday, hump day here on ESPN 106.3. We are, theoretically speaking, theoretically, yeah, sure, Boise State, Indiana, hell, Iowa, you name the school, they could upset Alabama on any given week or Georgia. But we know that these teams aren't better. We know that they shouldn't be ranked higher. We know that if we're really trying to get the 12 best teams in the nation on this TV product that is the 12-team playoff, which I fought against for years and years and years, but it was inevitable because of the money grab and because SEC and Big Ten schools, as they collided into these colossal conferences, didn't want teams to be left out. I get it. We have a 12-team playoff, but we must now use our critical thinking ability. I watched those playoff rankings drop last night on ESPN, and I must say, if the season did end today, it's just a little despicable. It's a little despicable how the seeding went. At the very least, we know we have most of the best teams in there. We'll get to that. And also, yeah, I think it's due time we just thoroughly debunk the Adam Schefter tweet. I think it's about that time. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos. He's done setting up the stuff on the technical side, so I'll stop stalling his introduction. What was going on over there? Just the stream stuff?
Nothing went wrong.
Oh, it was good?
Yeah, just making everything better.
Okay, making everything better. Just giving everything a little uptick there. We learned today that not everybody knows what the ones and the twos are.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard that question. Yeah, the ones and the twos. And you know, newsflash, I honestly don't know what the ones and the twos actually are. I just know what you're referring to when you say the ones and the twos. I'm on the button duty.
Yeah, you're handling the process over there as the producer, man. Well, really, it's more of a DJ terminology, but I think of you as the DJ of this show, not just the producer, because I don't like to think of this as just like a show where we're sitting here talking at people. We're curating vibes. And as the person that punches up the sound for those vibes, brings in the rejoins, calls up all the audios, you are the DJ. You are on the ones and the twos. That's how we kick it here on Theoretically Speaking. How they're kicking it in the college football playoff is trying to convince us that Boise State deserves a bye. Boise State deserves a bye over the likes of Ohio State, Indiana, Ole Miss, Georgia, Penn State, Notre Dame. I get why the college football playoff 12-team setup looks like this. CCAT, did you watch it live, actually? Because I didn't. I was actually at FAU last night, home of the Ray Lewis rumors, for a basketball game, actually. 2 high school teams, 7 5-star high school athletes. The Boozer twins were involved, but there was one kid that stood out amongst all of them, a pro, an elite player. I can't wait to see him playing in the NBA soon. We'll talk about that later because I was just astonished at that. But did you actually watch this ranking drop live?
Not live. I just saw all the fallout while I was sitting in the parking lot of a fast food pizza place.
Yeah.
And I'm just hearing apparently Booger McFarland was taking shots at my alma mater, Penn State, saying that they played UCLA close when that was not the fact. That's the one thing I got on my timeline from all the people I went to college with. But was it earlier this week? I believe it was like a 7 o'clock drop when it was usually at 8. What I remember from it.
What I'm looking at here, it was I guess earlier. I was tied up. Tennessee and SMU on the outside looking in on this one here. If it did in this way, BYU of the Big 12 would have the 12 seed. Since they lost, they fell back some. They are being projected now as the Big 12 champion. That 12 seed now being leaped by Boise State, which would be the Mountain West champion in this scenario. And BYU is a placeholder right there because really what they're saying is, as things stand today, the Big 12 champion would be the 12 seed and would have to play at Ohio State. That could be BYU. That could be Coach Prime in Colorado.
Yeah, it's kind of like the clause that was supposed to include a group of 5 conference, the best group of 5 team. That's why we had 5 conference champions get bids into the playoff, not necessarily buys in the playoff, just bids.
You know what's funny? The iteration that happened last night of the 12-team playoff is what specifically proves my point from earlier, from before we got the 12-team playoff and from earlier this season when I talked about the new setup does not incentivize a team like a Boise State, a team like Cincinnati. It does not create a better advantage for them to be able to make it to a national championship game and also win the final game of the season. It's actually puts them in a more disadvantageous spot because we already know the group of 5 champion every single year, when this thing is all said and done, is going to end up as the 12 seed. We know that for sure. Right now it's looking like that, and again, maybe this is the year where the Big 12 is relegated and the Mountain West is prioritized and Boise State gets it. We'll see. But most likely, that group of 5 team is going to be relegated to the 12 seed. That means that every single year that a group of 5 team stands out from the rest of them all and makes their way into the championship, into the 12-team playoff, they're likely going to be playing a road game against the next best Big Ten or SEC team. Like the next best non-champion out of the Big Ten or the SEC. Chalk it up as an L in the first round.
No, I think it makes sense because if you're in the group of 5, if you are not a Power 4 conference, it is understood that you had an easier road to get here. Yeah. So now it's time to prove yourself.
So they shouldn't have wanted this. That was my point in the first place. You should not want this because unless you're just cool with signing up with the consolation prize of saying we have a surefire ticket into the 12-team playoff every year just to get our asses whooped in the first round, sure, that's what you got. That's what you've earned. You deserve it. You campaigned for it. I rooted against it. We're here now, so that's what you have. And also, if you didn't, if the season ended today and we were back in our 14 playoff race like we had back in the day, guess what, Boise State? Look at what you will be looking at today. Boise State would be looking at a 4 seed playing against Oregon for a chance to play in the national championship game against the winner of Miami and Texas.
No, they wouldn't have Boise State ranked that high.
I'm just saying.
They
would have to.
They wouldn't do auto bids.
They would have to
for a 14 playoff. No,
they would have to.
No, that's not what would have happened.
They would have
that's
to.
Misinformation. That's
4
fake
highest
news.
college
Get
football playoff champions. They would have.
No.
You're right. Okay, because I get it. They were actually ranked lower, and they wouldn't. I get it.
The fact is, it's easier to make the playoff. It's harder to win a championship.
You would have to be undefeated as a group of 5 team. You would have to be undefeated back in the day to be in the 14 playoff. It's harder to win a championship. And it didn't guarantee it, but in a year like this year, if Boise State did run the table, they would be a top 4 team. Yes, they would. Because it would have included an Oregon win. Yes, they would.
Okay, yes.
And they lost to Oregon by 1 point. And right now, they're slated to be the team that would have to face Oregon in the college football semifinals. And that was my only point in all of this was I didn't like the way in which it was being presented there was an air around, oh, this is a chance for the little guys to have a puncher's chance at a national championship. And I said no. The way in which it was stated last time, like you said, easier to make the playoffs now, much more difficult for you to actually win a national championship. But that brings me to my next point with the 12-team playoff, and I knew we would end up here anyway, so here we are. Since you got what you wanted as a college football fan in a 12-team playoff, since you got this TV product, you got all these, you got the group of 5 teams thinking that they're in it to the end. Oh, the regular season didn't get deprioritized. Actually, it's more incentivized to win these regular season games, and it matters more because more teams are involved in the race leading up until the end of the regular season schedule. Well, what have you here? It seems to me that everybody in the nation can agree on one thing in college football, and that there's one conference that's better than all of the other ones, and that's the SEC.
Do not tell Big Ten football fans that.
They're lying to themselves. They're absolutely lying to themselves. Their little brother. And I get it. You're a Penn State alum. You're a Penn State fan. You're a Big Ten guy. Big Ten, you are the little brother to the SEC. You are. You absolutely are. I get it this year. Your conference looks a little stronger with the records and whatnot. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the schedule in which y'all played against each other and the fact that Michigan was down. But yeah, Big Ten, you're little bro to the SEC. You're the rival that thinks more about the other rival, wherein as the SEC is thinking more about itself. You're the one that's trying to compare yourself to those guys, to the Alabamas and the Georgias and the teams that actually win the national championships versus the teams that get the one-offs here and there. No disrespect, but it is what it is. The SEC is the best college football conference we have, and it has been for the past 2 decades. And if we're going to have this 12-team playoff, and if we're going to have it look like this, with Indiana at number 7, Notre Dame at 8, and teams like Tennessee and SMU on the outside looking in, a SMU team that likely will lose the ACC championship to Miami and only have 2 losses on their record, we have to give an auto bid in the SEC championship game for whoever loses that game alongside with whoever wins it. The runner-up in the SEC championship game should not be penalized for making the game. They should be incentivized to try and get to that stage, and win, lose, or draw, both of those teams should be in. If we can all agree, that's the best conference in the sport, because if you can make it to the championship game in the SEC, damn it, that's more impressive than any of the things that these other teams on the back end of this 12-team playoff have done this season. I don't get how that's such a hard pill to swallow for anybody outside looking in.
No, I think that's definitely fair, but I think that was also kind of understood coming into the season, right?
But it might not happen.
Probably get SEC champion, SEC runner-up, Big Ten champion, Big Ten runner-up. Those are your 4 from those conferences that are probably guaranteed because we all agree, and I do agree with you. As a Penn State fan, I do actually concede that the SEC is the supreme conference, hands down, no argument. Big Ten clearly number 2.
And Big Ten is clearly number 2 with a sizable gap between it and the ACC. And that comes from me as an ACC fan, as a Miami fan, who knows that it's likely it's a 1-bid league this year.
But as the top 2 conferences, I thought it was understood and there was no argument against that those 4 teams are guaranteed from those 2 conferences combined.
It should have been, but take a listen to Lane Kiffin. Take a listen to Lane Kiffin himself, head coach of Ole Miss, one of the 2 teams that beat Georgia, and one of the reasons why there's a lot of Dogs fans hoping, low-key, that Georgia doesn't win the tiebreak and make it into the SEC title game, because they know then that would ensure it's a win-or-go-home game versus it being an incentivized trip to Atlanta to try and add another pillar into your resume. Here's Lane Kiffin, head coach of Ole Miss. We know he shoots from the hip. We know that from his days of coaching that team down in Boca Raton that can use another Lane Kiffin today. Here he is stating how he and other SEC coaches feel about the title game now.
I've talked to other coaches, so I'll just kind of give you the feeling from some other coaches that, they don't want to be in it.
What?
The risk to get a bye, the reward to get a bye versus the risk to get knocked out completely. I mean, that's a really big risk. Just to get a bye. So
we're talking about coaches in the most prestigious and competitive conference. We're talking about leaders of young men who are probably some of the most crazy and manic folks that the way that they are able to get those guys to get rallied up at practice after practice, Saturday after Saturday. This is a macho sport. This is football. This is college football. It means more in the SEC. If your 12-team playoff is set up in a way in which those guys would be led to believe that losing, that not making it to our championship stage would be better for us than actually getting there. The problem isn't them. The problem is your setup.
That tells me the elitism is just seeping through SEC programs because they say, I would rather go on the road to a top 5 or a top 8 through 6 team, 8 through 5 team that's not an SEC team. I would rather go on the road in a win-or-go-home playoff game in the quarterfinal than have a chance to skip to the, get a bye.
Yeah. Because if you lose that SEC championship game, what Lane is saying there and any other SEC coach that agrees with him is the probability of us beating one of our own, the probability of us beating the other team that is atop the SEC at a neutral site in Atlanta is less likely than the probability of us winning a first-round game against any other team from any other conference at your crib.
Yeah, because it's still just playing an extra game.
It's just one extra game. It's just literally one extra game.
You're either playing that home campus first-round game in the playoff or you're playing that neutral field championship game.
That's what he's saying silently. Everybody else is looking at this like, oh, they shouldn't be avoiding the SEC title game. Y'all are missing the point. These guys are, of course, they're macho. Of course, they are very competitive. They also are tacticians. They also are smart and strategic people. That's how they got to that place. They're looking at it and saying, we have a better beating show crib. I mean, and look at these teams that are going to be home in the first round, a core playoff. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Penn State, Indiana. We have a better shot of beating you at your crib with your fans in the stands for the most part, in a hostile environment, in what is definitely a win-or-go-home game. It's literally the playoff. Then we do taking our chances in the SEC title game, neutral site, likely against a team that doesn't need to win to get in. And on top of that, even if we lose, we can still lobby our asses off and cross our fingers and hope that the saviors in the college football playoff selection committee room can see that we at least put up a good fight and they can sneak us in there with 11 seed. They're saying we have a better shot at beating you on the road. That is telling of what they think of these other football programs too.
And the sad thing is they completely have a point.
Yeah.
Because outside of Ohio State, I agree with them. Penn State's beatable. Notre Dame, definitely beatable. Indiana, we haven't seen them on the stage. You give the benefit of the doubt to the SEC battle-tested team, even if Indiana's at home. They certainly have a point. And what's crazy is, if you roll back the clock to about maybe 12 or 10 years ago, the aura of the SEC was considering an SEC championship is greater than or equal to a national championship.
Yeah.
It means that much in the SEC to win an SEC championship. And now, since these guys, like you said, they're tacticians.
Yeah.
Now they know the final goal and what they're judged at in their offices with their AD is national championships. So if just completely surrendering, waving the white flag on their conference is on the table to greater your chances of winning a national championship, yeah, I'll make that trade 10 times out of 10 times.
Ask Kirby Smart if he would have rather make or miss the SEC title game last year given the results. Remember, and I think this gets lost on people a lot. I know there was a lot of disdain for the fact that Florida State missed the 14 playoff. Let's not forget, Georgia last year, they were the back-to-back defending champions in college football. Back-to-back. Undefeated, I believe, both years. Or did they lose one game in the first year? I can't remember. They had won like 30-some-odd games in a row before getting into that SEC title game against Alabama. We all knew that was the best team in the nation. We all knew that was the team to beat come the college football playoff. I know they had an easy regular season slate, but we knew what it was. They lose in the SEC title game to Alabama, one-loss SEC runner-up, and they're held out of the 14 playoff. All that hoopla about Florida State, well, what about the Dogs? And that's exactly why teams in the SEC right now are crying, not crying wolf, but they're deprioritizing the SEC title game. It's more of a burden. It's more of a pitfall than it is an incentive, specifically because you ask any Georgia fan out there, how many SEC title games have y'all been to in the past 6 years? How many SEC championships do y'all have? It'll take them some time. You go do that outside of Sanford Stadium. You know how they do the man on the streets, right? And they're like, what college did Lamar Jackson go to? And people wearing Lamar Jackson Raven jerseys don't know, right? Like, you'll do that, and that's crazy, too. I can't believe that actually rode. I'm always skeptical of those videos, C-Cat. I always assume they only pick the bad ones.
Oh, yeah.
They shoot like 100 of them, and they pick the bad ones.
Oh, Louisville. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you fish for like an hour, and eventually you get some drunkard.
Yeah, that's you guys are deceptive with those. So I do want to give people, I want to give the benefit of the doubt that more people understand, more history about their teams. But yeah, if you ask a Dogs fan right now how many SEC title games, they're going to have to think about it. If you ask them how many national titles they got, they'll tell you the record, the year, they'll tell you who they beat, they'll tell you exactly where they stand in historical context. Like, that's what matters, especially in the SEC. The SEC runner-up should be in the 12-team playoff. It should be an auto bid for the conference that we all agree is the best in all of the land, and then that cuts out the feet from any of this other crap that we're talking about. If a team should be left out, it's a team that didn't win it, didn't make it to the SEC title game and has 2 or 3 losses. That should be the team that doesn't deserve to make it, not the team that ends its season in Atlanta.
Yeah, I think you got a point here. I think you certainly got a point here. With Georgia specifically, it's like, how are you being rewarded for having the number 1 strength of schedule, reigning national champion? How are you rewarded with absolutely nothing? What's the point of other conferences are out there trying to lobby for the SEC to add another conference game because right now they have 1 less than everybody else in the Power 4.
Why?
Why would they do that? Yeah.
Why? Why when we're not going to credit us for it too? That's what they're saying, not me. I'm not an SEC guy. I'm an ACC. I don't even like the way it sounds. I'm an ACC guy. Who says that? Does anybody ever say that? I'm an ACC guy.
Because we have the
Atlantic Coastal Conference.
RIP Bill Walton was the Pac-12 guy.
Yeah. Maybe I should brand myself as the ACC guy.
Need someone. The Big 12 guy.
Yeah, that's weaker. Maybe it's better. Big 12 had its heyday.
The BYU Cougar is now the Big 12 guy. He's the most notable face there.
And SMU's about to be the ACC guy. SMU's about the Mustang or whatever they got going. They're going to be the ACC guy because Miami's going to inevitably break our hearts. Just help me out. Am I off base here? Should even if it's a 3-loss team, the SEC runner-up should have an auto bid into the 12-team playoff? Am I right or wrong on that?
This is so hyper-reactive to right now. And I can't say for certainly, not 100%, that the SEC will be hands down a league of their own when it comes to how competitive and the level of football being played there. I can't tell you.
Every year in and year out? Okay, how about this then? How about this? Let the playoff selection committee decide. How about the same way that we drop rankings for the 12 team? And I know it's going to sound silly, but it will be a solution. We're dropping rankings for the strength of the top 25 college football playoff teams. We also drop rankings for the strength of each conference. You're laughing, but it's real.
I guess so.
It's a thing that they can use computers to generate a number and all kind of stuff, or just use our brains and our eyes. The SEC's better.
The top 2 power ranked conferences get 2 auto bids for the 2 teams that compete in their conference championship. Every year could change.
That's it. And again, hey, that doesn't even hurt the group of 5 teams. That doesn't hurt the ACC or the Big 12 because some years, Big 12 and ACC, maybe you should be able to jump that hurdle. Also, that also gives less credence to a team like Tennessee or Ole Miss. If they don't make the SEC title game, you can say, hey, you should have at least made the championship game. I get it. You're a 2-loss team in a stronger conference. Make the damn title game at the very least. You get the auto bid. If not, we leave it up to the selection committee, and then you can cry on your way home when you see the Notre Dame is getting in there with 2 losses as well, or 1 loss with a weaker schedule.
It's funny because you could probably actually do this right now, just assigning a point system to teams in the rankings the College Football Playoff Committee has given us, at least the top 25. We can just take those 25 teams and assign point values and say, okay, clearly SEC up here, Big Ten here.
There you go. That's the simple solution. And then we have a more structured way of, number 1, I do think that if you deprioritize and de-incentivize your championship game, SEC, and that's how I know there's going to be a solution to this after this year. When Lane Kiffin said it publicly, there's going to have to be a solution and a course correction. The SEC can't have that product, that television product, the SEC title game. They can't let that get derelegated. They can't let that get deprioritized, especially not publicly. Lane Kiffin also is he's a smarter man than people probably assume. He said that publicly because there is no Nick Saban right now in college football. Somebody's got to be a voice for the people of the SEC coaches. I mean, who's going to ever look out for the SEC?
Yeah, we need these SEC championship games to matter because why else am I going to watch the halftime Dr. Pepper chest pass tuition challenge? Like, that is the one time a year where I get amped up for the halftime show during these conference championship games is for that.
I would dominate those halftime competitions, by the way.
We should easily simulate that in here.
Yeah.
Get the measurements, the football, blow them up. Yeah.
I would. Come on.
You know, we should actually do that. You put a side-by-side of the guy and gal, guy, gal, whoever is on the field with us, timer, same thing, see if we would have won tuition.
I do better in front of live crowds, too, so it's really a disadvantage that I'd be doing it in this office. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. What's your one fix to the 12-team college football playoff structure? What's your one fix that would make everybody feel harmonious and happy? For me, it's the best conference should get an auto bid from its runner-up. 888-760-3776. That's the Baptist Health Hotline.
It's a hard job to find out what formula gets you the best/fairest results.
Tough.
It's incredibly difficult without actually being able to simulate it with real people, real teams, real situations. So I think it's a trial and error situation where the committee should not feel shamed if they make a change immediately. I think there's no shame in that.
Yeah, keep making changes so that we can have a more sturdy foundation going forward. And again, if you need my help, hit me up. The leader of it, and he knows me. We have each other's contact. I should hit him up after this and let him know my fix. Big shout.
Did you just come up with that? How it can just be power ranking the conferences and getting the auto bids to the top two?
I promise you, I literally just came to mind right as we were talking about it.
That's a really good.
It kind of works though.
That works 10 times.
Who's complaining over that?
No one.
888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County, right on through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. What's this that Brian's saying here on the YouTube chat and Prize Picks here? The SEC knows how much the SEC bias will help them. The only hope is if somehow the SEC teams get upset early. Give me the Oregon, Boise, SMU, Indiana Final Four.
I feel like everyone's mad about this.
Boise, SMU, Indiana Final Four. What are we talking?
Because the thing is,
Oregon.
You can't make everybody happy or you'll make nobody happy. Yeah. That might have been the situation that the committee found themselves in because, well, you know what? The 14 playoff also made nobody happy. Now that I think of it, because the little guy felt like they had no chance. Mm-hmm. The big guy thought that they were playing these tough schedules and one loss should not mean they're bounced out.
Yeah.
So you know what? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. There might not be a perfect way.
There's not a perfect way, but I've grown to like the 12-team playoff, and I would love it. I would love it more if we could at the very least find a way to make sure that the title games do matter. And I do think the auto bid for the two highest ranked conferences would be the easiest solution. And I have yet to hear a strong enough counterpoint on it. Now, we came up with this 10 minutes ago. So maybe there is a counterpoint that we're not even thinking about. I would love to hear it. But again, hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Or maybe Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike can help us out with it. We're going to get him on the line here soon.
Because right now we're sitting in a spot that is similar to that of college basketball.
Yeah.
Where, those conference tournaments, when you get to the Power Four, really don't matter. You know that. We know that. It's nice to hang the banner, cut the net and whatnot, but those auto bids for a top 5 ranked team does not matter whatsoever.
No.
But do people just love March Madness so much and they also don't really care about college basketball that much to where it's not a point of conversation? We haven't seen this iteration of the tournament in front of us. We've seen so many NCAA tournaments.
Yeah.
We see the one shining moment. We see the upsets. We see the Final Fours. We see all that great stuff. So we've seen that in front of us where the shortcomings of the process to get there, you know what, that's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. But with this, we actually haven't seen this grand 12-team playoff in action. We've seen the debate. We've seen the unveilings. We haven't seen the football games.
Well, you haven't played enough CFB 25. I've seen a million renderings of this thing, and usually Miami ends up on top. But that's because that's my user-controlled team in my dynasty. We'll see who Evan's using in CFB 25 and see if he has a fix for the college football playoff for us as well, because I feel like I have the ultimate fix, and we're just going to power rank the conferences too. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. It's a Wednesday. It's November 20th, and we're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Mark your calendars and gear up for game day this Sunday, November 24th. Join Bud Light and the ESPN West Palm Street team at Uncle Mick's in Jupiter. Catch all the action as the New England Patriots face off against the Miami Dolphins from 1 to 3. Showcase your football skills for a chance to win Bud Light prizes. Enjoy specials on Bud Light and neutrals all game long. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at PNC.com.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators.
Like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game-changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code Schefter. That's code Schefter.
HSS Florida presents ESPN West Palm's High School Game Day, supported by Smith Ball Bias and Prather. We're in round 2 of the playoffs, and the Vero Beach Fighting Indians will make their way down south to take on the Palm Beach Central Broncos. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Also presented by Kaiser University, Land Rover Palm Beach, Duffy Sports Grill, Shaw Sports Turf, South Florida Ford, Bud's Chicken and Seafood, and the Boca Raton Bowl.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497. Or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Those big games earlier in the year, you know, maybe you look ahead. If we didn't have at stake what's at stake, maybe you would worry about it. I think our focus is single-handedly on on Auburn right now and locked in on what we got to get done.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
That's Mike Elko, head coach of Texas A&M, as they prepare to play Auburn. Freudian slip, admitting he has Texas on his mind, because if A&M does beat Auburn and then beat Texas at the end of the year, they punch their ticket into the SEC title game and force Texas into the sticky, or actually Would they be in the sticky tiebreakers? I can't. The SEC tiebreaker stuff right now, it's all over my head. I can't stand it. I hate it. I know that the guy that we're bringing in now probably can't make it more clear for me, but I know what he could do. He'll probably give a great counterpoint on my one fix to the 12-team playoff because CCAT and I feel like it's perfect already. Maybe Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, who joins us here on Wednesdays. And again, you can hear him on Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman, 6 to 10 a.m. right here on ESPN 106.3. Maybe he can help solve this for me. So first off, Evan, happy Wednesday. How goes it? Are you excited because the Heat pushed the Sixers into one of the earliest team player-only meetings in the history of that franchise?
Oh, I was loving every minute of it the other night. And I'm glad you said that, Theo, because I think that a lot of people saw the headlines yesterday from Shams Charania about the big story around Joel Embiid and the players-only meeting, et cetera, et cetera. And what they didn't realize is what you and I realized, which is very simply that 2 nights ago when the Heat and the Sixers played, the Heat had a lead early. They blew the lead, and they were down 19 points. They blew the right, exactly. But they blew the lead when Joel Embiid left the game.
Yes.
And when Embiid came back in is when the Heat went on their run. So that was kind of the untold story because the headline was like, oh, they blow a 19-point lead with Joel Embiid. Like, no, they blew a 19-point lead because of Joel Embiid.
Which is even worse, and which is why you got things like Tyrese Maxey getting in his face, trying to hold him accountable now, and the Sixers' inevitable implosion post the acquisition of Paul George. Who could have called that?
What a shame. What a shame. Really, really heartbroken by that.
Right. Evan, I'm going to put it all out there because I want to get to everything today, and I don't want to forget one thing. We're going to talk a little bit of this Ray Lewis FAU stuff.
Yeah, I like it.
We're going to get to that at some point. I do want to start with the 12-team playoff rankings that we saw come out last night for the college football 12-team playoffs. Every single time we get these, we overreact. I get that, but as everybody's complaining about how SEC teams don't want to play in the SEC championship game anymore and concerned about who's going to get left out, CCAT and I, in the earlier hour, we came up with a great solution to the 12-team playoff setup that will keep conference championship games at the forefront. If you make it to your conference championship game and you are in one of the 2 strongest conferences in the nation right now, that would be the SEC and the Big Ten. We're leaving room for in the future that changing. But just like we have a 25-team ranking, we'll have that selection committee rank the conferences based on the strength of each team in the conference. If you make the championship game and you're in the 2 highest-ranked conferences, Big Ten and SEC, you also get an auto bid, but you have to win your conference championship game to get the bye week. Evan, who says no?
Everybody else. And that's the problem with this.
Who's everybody else?
No, well, here. Okay, so when you say the 2 best conferences,
yes,
is that changing every year?
It only so here's how we'll decide that. See, I knew you would ask that question. Great follow-up, Evan. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Played right into our hands.
That's why they named this studio after you. But guess what? That's why they gave us a 2 to 4 show right here on ESPN 106.3 because we got the answer. We're going to have the
in every scenario here, by the way. I'm pretty sure I'm the they in every single scenario you just mentioned. But go ahead.
Yeah, so you're admitting that you decided to put your name on the studio. Great. We got him.
Oh, no, not that part. Well done. Okay, you win, I lose. Go ahead.
No, all right. So, Evan, the committee, just like they rank the top 25 teams every Tuesday night, there will be another ranking, a power ranking of the conferences based on the strength of each team in that given year. So, yes, this year it's obviously going to be the SEC is the strongest conference. The Big Ten is the strongest or the second strongest. Let's say 5 years from now, Florida State gets its act together. Clemson is back in charge. Miami stays in power, and the ACC somehow jumps one of those conferences based on teams being better. When the committee ranks the ACC as the second best conference, guess what? You get an auto bid into the playoff if you make the ACC championship game.
Okay,
boom.
Wait a second. I think all great leaders, and you are a great leader. You're not somebody in management, but you are a great leader.
Thank you.
All great leaders and all people in management, their jobs in many ways are to envision a problem happening before it happens and having the solution ready prior to the problem existing. Well, that said, I think you guys are playing out problems that don't actually exist. Because what you're suggesting is, I assume, off of what Lane Kiffin said, former FAU coach, about how there could be incentive to not be in the SEC title game. Don't we have to let maybe a year, 2, 3 years of this play itself out before we actually deem this to be a problem? Like, are we sure that it is a problem? The idea that there is going to be a team that you're going to say, that's not fair, SEC team X benefited because they were not in the SEC title game, where SEC team Y was in the SEC title game, lost, got their third loss, and got eliminated.
Okay.
Like, we're kind of guessing on this, are we not?
We are. We are projecting. We're guessing. There's 2 more weeks left to play in the college football regular season, and we still have to see what happens in the conference championship game. But let me give you the most obvious scenario, because it just happened last year with Georgia in the 4-team playoff. If Georgia makes the conference championship this game based off of tie breaks, and they play, let's say, Texas in the title game, and they lose a close game like they lost a close one to Alabama in the SEC title game, coming off a regular season that was undefeated, by the way. Based off what we saw, the way that the committee ranked Georgia last night at 8-2, they're ranked 10th in these rankings. Just last week, they were outside of the 12-team playoff. This week, they squeezed in as the 11 seed. There's no way they're going to move up in the rankings with a loss in the conference championship game. They're likely going to fall down, and you're going to have a Georgia team, their 3 losses being to 3 of the best teams in the nation, 3 teams that will be in the 12-team playoff, not making the playoff. And in favor of them, or instead of them, we're going to have teams like Indiana, Penn State, Boise State, the Big 12 champion. Like, it's hard to, if our goal is actually to get the best teams in the nation, I think a runner-up in the SEC should not be penalized when you're going to probably get a team like Ole Miss then, who will stay at 2 losses because they didn't get into the championship game, be incentivized for it.
So, Theo, let me give you your big headline from our conversation right now that I'm going to give you. CCAT, get ready. Take this audio clip, play it over and over again all day, because I'll either get ripped or praised for it. There's not going to be much in between. So here we go.
Okay.
Buckle up.
It is in – the CCAT just interrupted as I started this big thing. I think he did. I think he literally started talking as I did the big setup here. So here we go. I'm going to do it again for you. It is in the committee's best interest to get it wrong until the end, that's when they have to get it right. You're assuming that logic and reasoning that you are using is beneficial for the committee to use now versus later. It's a TV show. The TV show causes radio shows like yours and like ours on Unsportsmanlike to discuss it nonstop. If they got it right, what are we talking about? The only time they actually have to get it right is when they hand in the final answer for the 12-team playoff. So your assumption that if Georgia loses to Texas twice and Alabama, and they lose by a combined, handful of points, that they won't get in because they have 3 losses, and that's not fair, it's only not fair at the end. It's not unfair now. It's a TV show.
It happened last year to Georgia, though.
But it really didn't, because, they lost in that spot. And then, we look at what happened. Michigan was clearly the best team. It's not like they kept the best team out. See, you want to know what my biggest issue is with all of this? And I think all of your issues in the moment are beyond fair. Let me ask you a question, okay? If I took the Indiana resume at number 5, and instead of Indiana, I made it Michigan, exact same resume, but just a different name, what ranking would they be?
2.
That's what I think, too. It's exactly what I think. Because you think they're going to put an undefeated Michigan team behind a 1-loss Ohio State team?
Nope.
No chance.
Nope.
Right? So they can sit there and say, no, we're not worried about the brand or anything like that. Yeah, you are. Of course you are. And I get why you are. You know why? It's a TV show.
Yeah. That was well put. That was a good counterpoint. You still didn't find the flaw in our solution. You're just saying our solution isn't necessary. Yeah.
Right. There may not be a flaw.
Yeah.
I guess my counter is more so, Theo, having problems is the solution.
Right, because they want us to be talking about the discrepancies and the problems, and they want fan bases to get irate and other ones to be happy, and they want, theoretically speaking, to lead its show and talk the first 45 minutes about the 12-team playoff in the midst of the NFL season. I get it. I get it.
In one of the forget even that. In one of the hottest college football areas in the country.
Yeah.
Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Like, we're not talking about you got to really convince the theoretically speaking audience to get into college football. Everyone is listening to what you're saying because it's college football.
This is true. Well, it didn't take the wind from out underneath of my sails, but it did make me feel like I played the fool a little bit. But that's why we brought you in.
No, you're doing it. No, I think you're doing it right in terms of trying to come up with solutions, because I am just like you, confused every week. We're just confused differently, which makes them the biggest winner.
They do. They keep winning.
They win every week.
That's why
we're confused differently.
That's why I said I feel like I'm playing the fool. I'm playing right into their hands.
We are, but I am too.
All right.
I am too.
So you are.
Everybody plays the fool.
Hey,
shout out to Aaron Neville. What a great song.
Woo, that's a great one.
No exception
To the rule. Do-do-do-do. Come on now, C-Cat. Do-do-do-do. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm singing along in my head. I didn't want to interrupt again.
C-Cat wouldn't know any of the Neville brothers if they fell on him. Give me a break.
Hey.
He has no idea what we're doing right now.
Evan, you'll be disappointed if I told you that when I was trying to explain to C-Cat who Tracy Ellis Ross was, me telling him who his mother was did not help him at all. He said, who the hell is Diana?
Oh, God. Come on.
That was hilarious. That was one of my favorite interactions with C-Cat. That's my dog. Okay, let's get to another place where it feels like people played the fool. Adam Schefter breaks the internet this morning with a tweet that says Ray Lewis, who is a Palm Beach County resident.
The Adam Schefter thing that broke the internet, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. The other one was, something about the air out there in Bristol and at ESPN National. Y'all get a little freaky, man. Y'all need to just pump the brakes a little bit. Take a cold shower. Mostly that goes to the guys on First Take. But Adam Schefter tweets out that Ray Lewis is a candidate for the FAU head football coaching job. Evan, what was your initial reaction to that? And did you shoot a text to all your sources right afterwards?
I did. Exactly what I did. I'm sure we shot a text to the same source, actually.
Yes.
So I like it. I actually like it. So I think it was probably before you started the ESPN West Palm. Maybe I'm wrong. Ray Lewis spent a day in our studios because he lives in Palm Beach County, I guess.
Yeah.
And everyone came out of that. I was living in New York at the time, but I remember I was interviewing. I still interviewed him, and we had a phenomenal interview. He was unbelievable. And everyone came out of that interview or that day, loving the guy. So here's the thing. Just because you're an amazing football player, in this case, just because you're a huge name, in this case, doesn't necessarily mean you're a good coach, right? I think in some cases we are not fair enough to Deion. He coached high school. He graduated from high school to HBCUs, Jackson State. Once there, not the highest level of football, but what he did was his raising of awareness, thankfully, for HBCUs. The money that went into those schools was better than it's ever been. The attractiveness of the jobs became higher than it ever was prior, outside of Eddie Robinson, the all-time great coach at Grambling.
Of course.
Doug Williams when he was there. But, we're talking about the same school twice then with Grambling. There are other schools, HBCU, like Jackson State, Hampton, et cetera. When you look at some of those schools, the awareness wasn't there. Deion put in the work to raise that awareness and raise the level of football and thus raise the academic standards. Everything goes along with it. He then graduates, not to the Colorado that I grew up with in the early 90s, but Colorado of today.
One win.
Which is a stinky program, put in the work, built it up, and now is being talked about for every job known to man. So when we look at, FAU's trying to recreate Deion, can we at least be somewhat fair as to what Deion was, which was a coach that worked his way up? Now, I don't know enough about Ray in this regard. Is he coaching in high school? Is he coaching a smaller school? I don't believe he is. So there's a lack of experience. But I've said forever, I believe that FAU, from a sports-related environment, needs to be a halfway house. And what I mean by that, and Ray wouldn't necessarily fit in this regard, it's anyone who was accomplished elsewhere that somehow ran into some trouble that is warranted of a second chance in life, be the home for him. Matt Doherty never got in trouble, but Matt Doherty was, got fired at Carolina, after being great at Notre Dame, was kind of down in the dumps a little bit. FAU gave him a second shot. Basketball. Lane Kiffin, the ultimate example of that.
Yeah.
Now, Dusty May is obviously the opposite of that. So, to me, you go two routes. You go one of, like, the recovery process, which was Kiffin and Doherty, or you go and find a diamond in the rough.
Yes.
And there's two obvious diamonds in the rough that we know of.
Talk about it.
I know. Well, let's talk about the two. I'll handle one because I know the one, you know the other.
Yes.
Right? The one diamond in the rough is coaching at Lenoir-Rhyne, who is a former high school coach in our area, former college coach in our area, and that is Doug Sosha. And he's the one that you bring in and you say, I'm going to set it and forget it. What do I mean by that? You don't touch Doug Sosha for 5 years, regardless of record, because everywhere he's been, he's built it up.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is coaching on the best organization in the NFL that would pay FAU to be the coach because of how much he loves Palm Beach County. You handle that one. Go ahead. Give your name and tell everybody.
Terry Braden Jr., who has spent the past 8 years with the Chiefs organization, has been a coach on the assistant. He's an assistant on the defensive line. He's gotten all kind of like credit and good statements out of guys like Andy Reid. He's a guy that like has handpicked him and wanted him on his staff and has kept him there. That dude not only played high school football in Palm Beach County, he coached high school football in Palm Beach County. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think he was the youngest coach ever to lead a high school team when he was the coach of Inlet Grove around like 24 years old or something. He's a guy that's like born here, could put walls up here and recruit here like nobody else. Terry Braden Jr., Doug Sosha, especially when you're going to be paying Tom Herman, what is it, like over $4 million over the next 3 years for the buyout? Those are two guys that have got to be leading in the clubhouse. They just got to get past Ray Lewis.
Right. Well, nobody can do that.
Yeah, you just got to get, he ain't as quick as he used to be, man.
Right by Ray Lewis. He wasn't good at tackling or anything like that.
Hey.
See, here's the thing. Ray Lewis is going to be an awesome name, motivator, and recruiter.
Oh, yeah.
Can he coach? I don't know because we've never seen it. That's the difference between he and Dion, right? He's coached. That's where, like Jerry Jones, I don't know if you caught the comments this week when he was talking about Jason Witten, his former tight end, thinking, he's saying, he reminds us a lot of Dan Campbell. In what way does he remind you of Dan Campbell other than he played tight end? Dan Campbell was an intern for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And then worked his way up with a million assistant jobs. Like, I don't know. Like, it's okay. Like, J.J. Redick had no experience, and J.J. Redick has been great. But J.J. Redick has been great for the Lakers because LeBron James is re-energized in a way that we haven't seen in God knows how long, right?
Yeah.
So if Ray Lewis had Shedeur Sanders or whoever with him, okay, fine. But I'm not anti it. I just think we have to, Theo, be careful in comparing it to Dion because of the lack of experience that Ray has.
It ain't Dion. I mean, we saw Eddie Jackson take over Tennessee State, former, I think, is he a Hall of Fame? Or Eddie George take over Tennessee State. I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame running back, but a great in that state. And he didn't get the amount of fame or value out of that program as Dion did. It's a one-of-a-kind. It's a one-off.
Well, do you know what – but hold on. Do you know what Eddie George was doing prior to that?
I actually don't know.
He was an actor.
I did not know that.
He was a broadcaster, then became an actor.
I did not know that.
They did a TV show. You know the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg?
Nope.
Yeah. Here we go.
You don't know that movie?
I lost. I lose this round. I'm sorry. I don't know the movie.
Wow. Okay, I love that. It's like the best Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You're bored. You don't know what to do. It's on TNT kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Anyway, so they did a TV show off of that, and Eddie George was in that TV show. And then all of a sudden, when Dion happened, he popped up at Tennessee State.
Yeah.
I don't know what his resume was prior relative to coaching. Again, that is something we cannot ignore with Deion Sanders. High school, small college, big college, bad program is where he is now that he's made into a big program. Like, it's not the same as some of these other guys just because they're big names.
He's already got a DC lined up. Ed Reed's not with Bethune-Cookman anymore. Why wouldn't he bring his cohort down to be defensive coordinator of the Owls?
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
It would be fun. They'll be able to recruit, Evan. That's at the very least we know they can recruit.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. I've been thinking about this. If Sosha got the job, would Braden come as DC? And if Braden got the job, would Sosha come as an assistant head coach kind of thing?
I think it would have to I think it could go either way. I think because Sosha's the one with the head coaching experience at multiple programs, in college, he probably is the guy that gets the head coaching gig in that sense. And I wonder if Braden would be open to taking a DC job. It's hard to leave a Chiefs organization that you've won 3 Super Bowl rings with, that you keep getting promotions on that staff in. Like, I can see why he would stick around in Kansas City.
Oh, God, yeah.
But
yeah,
I know he wants to be back in Palm Beach County. FAU,
yeah,
they need to come knocking. They need to come knocking for both of those guys. Evan, appreciate you pulling up, man. And again, CCAT keeps giving me the finger, telling me I need to get you off the phone here because we got to go to break. So we'll catch you next week.
All right, guys. See ya.
Peace. That's Evan Cohen on Sportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. here on ESPN 106.3. And CCAT is promptly telling him he was not signaling me, which I think he was signaling me to get to break here. So stop over here. Stop trying to lie behind my back, CCAT. On the other side, we have the Get Around. We'll talk more specifically about specifically about some of the stuff that's going down in the NBA here. I know we touched on the Heat-Sixers stuff. Come on. Like, it's heating up in the NBA. That was Evan Cohen, though, joining us on the Baptist Health Hotline. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of skilled orthopedic sports medicine surgeons and specialists that specialize in surgical and non-surgical treatments to get you back to what you love. Don't put off seeing a doctor. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho today for more information. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Is anything funny, CCAT? What's funny?
Nothing.
Because I can't read?
Yeah.
You're going to be a reading elitist?
I guess so.
You're the literary elitist over there, CCAT.
But you didn't give enough credence to my idea of Ed Reed as the defensive coordinator at FAU. He clearly wants to be in coaching. He does. Like, it would make sense. And why wouldn't Ed Reed? And Bill Belichick talks about how great of a football mind Ed Reed is.
I'm one of Ed Reed's biggest fans. Did you not see how poorly things went at Bethune when he went out there?
I didn't read into it. I saw a contract fell through. That's all I saw.
Okay.
I'm a headline guy.
Yeah, big reader, huh? Uh-huh. Big reader. Didn't read the story. He just skimmed the headline and just I love me some Ed Reed.
Or no?
I think it was on both sides. I think there was a certain level of professionalism on both sides that were not handled correctly. And yes, there were some contract issues. And Ed Reed went the route of airing it out in what I would call an irresponsible way, instead of trying to handle things behind closed doors or figure it out. But again, I wasn't there. I don't know all the details. I can reach out about it and get more intel and figure out why it was handled like that. But it was a huge blow up. And again, whenever you take a head coaching job, and I don't even know if he made it to a practice or two. Like, I don't know if they made it to an official fall practice before he was out. That's an utter failure on both parties. Eddie George, by the way, Hall of Fame class 2011. Thanks to Jalen right there, jumping in on the Prize Picks stream. So yeah, Eddie George, Hall of Fame level player, didn't have the same impact as Deion Sanders. You cannot recreate what Deion was to Jackson State and Colorado just by snapping your fingers and getting a Hall of Fame player that has a big name. It's just not like that. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We got to get around on the other side with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Never go near power lines. Whether you are trimming trees or picking fruit, stay at least 10 feet away from power lines. You can be seriously injured or killed if you or any object you're holding or standing on, such as tools and ladders, touches a power line. Hire a qualified line clearing professional to trim trees near power lines. Stay safe by keeping yourself and your tools at least 10 feet away from any power lines. Learn more at FPL.com.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
When it comes to choosing a health plan, you can trust the members who have experienced it firsthand. Humana is proud to offer a Medicare Advantage plan in Florida that earned 5 out of 5 stars. 5 stars is the highest rating possible. It's based on real members' experiences and it's decided by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Our Humana Gold Plus HMO earned 5 out of 5 stars. That means a few things. It means members get outstanding customer service. It means we connect them with excellent preventive care and chronic condition support. Most of all, it means you have a trustworthy option for a Medicare Advantage plan. Explore our 5-star Humana Gold Plus HMO at humana5star.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
Hey, it's Tina. The Pickleball Club of St. Lucie West is now open. Join an amazing club that offers indoor championship quality courts and premium amenities that enhance your game. Whether you're new to pickleball, like me, or an experienced player, young or old, the Pickleball Club's world-class experience is more than just a game. It's a community where you can play, dine, and make new friends. Memberships are now available. Visit thepickleballclub.com for more information and to schedule your tour today.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Theo here. EDS is yes. You've heard me say that over and over. So I need you to keep this website in mind too. EDSisyes.com. For the most trusted AC specialist here in Palm Beach County, EDSisyes.com. For 24/7 support, EDS is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. There are so many reasons why EDS is yes. When it comes to your air conditioning and plumbing, EDSisyes.com. That's EDSisyes.com. Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Celebrate the most wonderful time of the year at the Gardens Mall. Santa is here for photos during all mall hours now through Christmas Eve. Reserve your spot at whereissanta.com. The Kids Corner Holiday Shop in Nordstrom Court is now open. Kids can pick out gifts for their favorite people with help from Santa's special helpers. Plus, enjoy festive decorations and holiday events throughout the mall. The Gardens Mall, just 1 mile east of I-95 on PGA Boulevard. Join us this holiday season and make magical memories with the whole family.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, and you know what time it is. It's game time. Tip-offs and touchdowns are on the clock all week long on ESPN 106.3. Thursday, we get rowdy in the dog pound with the Steelers and Browns. Coverage begins at 7:30. On ESPN 106.3, it's game time. TikTok.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's Wednesday, hump day, November 20th. It's your boy, Theo Dorsey. We are kicking it with you until 4 o'clock. And I got some moves to make. I got places to be, and you do as well if you're pulling up on us. On the other side of the glass, as always, C-Cat on the ones and the twos. And I see you got your Hawaiian shirt rocking today, C-Cat. Are you going to be wearing that to the House West Palm tonight?
I am bringing it to the House West Palm.
Yes,
and
sir.
I brought a change of clothes, too, in case, maybe we want to take a ride on the Lit 9 after trivia tonight.
Oh, for sure. We taking a ride on that Lit 9. I got to change of clothes, too. I got my polo on right now because I had to pay a visit to Oxbridge Academy, drop off a fat $500 check, $500 check, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care for the performance of the week. So I did that before the show. That's why I'm in my ESPN West Palm polo tonight. I'll be in a nice, comfortable casual shirt as we kick off the first and likely the last, theoretically speaking, trivia at the House West Palm. We're taking it to the house tonight. Can we get the music? Where am I taking it to the house? There we go. We're taking it to the house. It's going to be at 6 o'clock at the House West Palm, right here in West Palm Beach at the park. The beautiful 18-hole course. C-Cat, myself, Kate Chumslin, so many other people from the team. We're going to have Espresso Martina in the house as well. She's not here on the happy hour because she's literally prepping things for trivia night. 6 o'clock, it's sports trivia. So every Wednesday, C-Cat, at the house, they do trivia night, 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing about trivia night is from 4 to 6 at the house is happy hour, half off of cocktails. Their cocktails are affordable already. You're getting half off of craft cocktails. So you load up on those. Trivia starts at 6. It's right there in this beautiful spot where the golf course is behind you.
Called the Breezeway.
Yes, the Breezeway.
Learned that word for the first time when I went there last week.
Yes, the Breezeway is where it's at. And C-Cat, I was like, trivia night is really cool. We do take it to the house trivia here on Theoretically Speaking. So I asked the guys there, and this is why I love the house so much, is they work with us. They're not just our partners in business. They're our friends. And I said, hey, would y'all mind if I came in here on a Wednesday and, hosted a trivia night, made it sports themed? They said yes. And there you have it. Tonight at the House West Palm, C-Cat, myself, Kate Chumslin, Espresso Martina, we're hosting sports trivia. There will be gift cards on the line. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had. We're going to be getting some drinks up, some high fives, some pictures. It's going to be a great time. Pull up on us 6 o'clock at the House West Palm tonight. We'll talk about it a little bit more later in the show because there's another. Look, there's if it's me, I always got a little something special for y'all. I'm going to be giving out another code word for the good people.
Ooh, I was thinking just when you started saying that, thinking possibly if you're listening to the show at a certain point in the final 54 minutes we've got, you get extra 5 points tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe for trivia.
Oh.
Is that fair? I don't know, but we run the rules, don't we?
We do run the rules of trivia, and I will say this. We can have that code word that we give out later on in the show baked into the Theoretically Speaking trivia.
I like it.
If they give the code word and we'll call for it, you can get a +5. We'll make it a +5 on the trivia. And guess what? We get to create those rules on the spot because, damn it, we run the show tonight. 6 o'clock at the House West Palm. Pull up on us. It's going to be a great time. C-Cat, this is one of those days where I thought I had this brilliant idea, Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike comes in. He kind of cuts the legs out from under it a little bit. But then also, you know what? The fact that that's all he had made me feel like the idea was even that much more brilliant. Like, our fix to the 12-team playoff is bulletproof.
It is bulletproof, and it was kind of annoying that Evan just said, hey, you're being too prepared. He's like, you're fixing a problem that hasn't come up yet.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're creating new things.
And the thing is, you could say maybe this is just going to be 1 out of the 10 times this playoff happens. This is the one example where we have all of these 2-loss SEC teams that are just vying for those spots. Maybe it's a one-off, and if we make a change based on this, we're going to hurt the rest of the playoff. I say no.
It won't.
The more and more we consolidate these conferences, the more and more you're going to have a loaded, top-heavy, contending teams who have blemishes on their records.
And you know what else this does? It's going to prevent other teams from making those leaps and weakening the other conferences. This could be the solution, too, for those that don't want to see an AFC, NFC-style college football where you have 2 super conferences and all the rest of them are playing in a league of their own. This could play into the solution for that. What's holding the ACC and the Big 12 together, if not the fact that those teams at the top, at the very least, know we win our conference, we have an auto bid into the top. And if there's only 2 auto bids in the SEC and the Big 10, and you're going to wall it off to where the other 3 or 4 have to get the at large, that's going to de-incentivize. Like, now, why would Clemson and Florida State go join the SEC?
Now you're talking me out of it.
What?
See, I was with you.
You want the super conferences to happen.
See, I think the super conferences are happening no matter what.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And we got to combat it and help
This
it with
would
the
hold it
12-team
off.
playoff. I don't think it would. I think you're doubling the chances of guaranteed playoff spots. By doing two different bids.
So here's what I would do. If we play it out how this year would seem to play out here, the SEC champion, let's just say it's going to be Texas. And the SEC runner-up, let's just say it's going to be Georgia. They both get the auto bids. Georgia loses the SEC title game. They'll come in at like an 11 or 10 seed. They'll make it because they have the auto bid, but maybe they fall in the rankings, so they're going to come in as a team that has to play on the road in the first round. Same goes for the Big Ten, right? Oregon wins it. The runner-up going to have a road game in the first round. Those other teams on the bubble, Tennessee, Ole Miss, who else would that be in the SEC? I'm missing somebody big here. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Alabama technically is in that mix there too. Those teams and Texas A&M, they have to fight for those at-large bids as well. But if they have 3 losses and they didn't make the SEC title game, if the fan base is crying about, oh, we didn't make it, well, hey, at least make your SEC title game next year, and then you can have your way in. You can't just get an auto bid because you're an SEC team if you didn't make the championship game. I think it's more of a reason to keep those teams out.
Now, the argument's the same. It's still my at-large bid. The case that I have as a Texas A&M, as an Ole Miss, as a team who does not win this SEC championship game is stronger than in Indiana or Penn State. Either the case is the exact same, even if we implement that.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
What I'm saying is right now, honestly, what is stopping, apart from money and tradition, if the only goal here, if you take money out of it and tradition out of it, if the only goal was to win a national championship, like, why wouldn't, and this is going to sound very stupid and naive and 26-year-old of me, Georgia to the ACC, dominate the conference, you all of a sudden run it. Like, I know the money won't be the same. I know the tradition is going to be just spitting on the ancestors.
Well, that will be it.
The money. You in this spot.
It'll be the money.
That's what I'm saying. If we're just going to shift around just to greater our chances to win a national championship, why wouldn't these jam-packed SEC teams just leave that mega conference?
Because you would lose so much money that it would hurt your program.
Yeah,
like the reason why they're able to be so dominant at the top of the SEC and the Big Ten is because they have a certain cut that they're annually going to get, whether they're a 9-win team, 11-win team, 8-win, like they're going to get a huge cut. That's why it's so tasty to get into those conferences. That's why those teams like Florida State and Clemson, they know if they make that leap, there's a good chance they don't compete for a championship game in that conference for the next 5 or 6 years, but the money is going to be so good that it's going to help elevate the program, help pay for more NIL, help retool the stadium. As if they don't have enough money already. I think that's the incentive to stay in the SEC. But what I would be saying in this case is, well, good, Ole Miss. I'm glad you played your SEC schedule. Take your SEC money and take your SEC ass to your couch and watch the damn 12-team playoff if you can't get into the conference championship game. Everything in life comes with something, good or bad. There's consequences. There's rewards. Your reward for being the SEC, a whole lot of money. The consequence is if you don't make the title game, I can't promise you're going to make it to the 12-team playoff. Try again next year. Simple.
Yeah, I really don't think that there is a perfect solution to this. Yeah. And every single year, we're going to run into a problem.
Hey, how about this one? Brian McLovin-Rowitz, our director of content here, he pitched this one on me in a break. He's taking what we're saying, but he's taking it to the next level. What if for the 4 Power 4 conferences?
So we're definitely saying it's these 4 conferences because things can change.
Things could change.
Big 12,
I think
ACC.
we keep it the same way. Keep it the same way and say that it's the ranking of the conferences, and most likely it's going to be those 4. Just like right now in real life. It just happened in real life here. Everybody assumed it was going to be Big 12, ACC, SEC, and ACC get the
4 buys.
But we have Boise State right here because currently they're a stronger seed than the Big 12 champion. But let's just say, based on rankings, the 4 best conference championship games, the 4 strongest conferences, all 4 of those teams, all 8 teams that make it get auto bids.
Okay, so that fills up the 12-team playoff a bunch.
That's 8. That's 8 teams, and I don't like this idea as much, but just hear it all the way out. That's 8 teams automatically in. The 9th team that is an auto bid is the highest rated group of 5 team, like we have it already, which would be Boise State. That's 9 teams auto bids.
They're in, not auto seeded.
Yeah, they're just auto in. The winner of the conference championship games get the bye week for the 4 strongest conferences. The losers have road games likely in the first round. Those last 3 at-large bids, those are what's up for grabs. It can be a third-place ACC team. It could be a third-place SEC team. Hell, it could be 3 SEC teams if it's a year like this and they're that strong. Who's against that? And who's against that? The SEC and the Big Ten, because now they're going to feel like they're capped off. Because they're like, why the hell is SMU in there? Why the hell is Colorado that lost the Big 12 championship getting in there?
I have watched a bunch of sorry ACC teams get slapped around by Clemson in the past 5 to 10 years.
They don't deserve it.
That I don't want to see that. No, and they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Definitively do not deserve it. There's no case to be made for that team.
If you are, that's why I cut it off at the top 2 rated conferences. If you are a Big 12 runner-up or an ACC runner-up, more times than not, you're actually not going to be deserving of the 12-team playoff. And the way things are structured right now, you're not going to be deserving.
Yeah, pardon my ignorance. Did the ACC get away from their divisions?
Yeah. This is the first year that they got rid of divisions as they added again, we're all learning this on the fly because it just keeps getting injected into us the way that now SMU is competing for likely an ACC championship game. When they brought in SMU, Cal, and Stanford, they eliminated the divisions. Matter of fact, actually, they eliminated divisions the year before.
Okay, so that makes it a little bit better because the top 2 teams in the ACC might be worth a damn, but you can't guarantee that.
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. The top 2 rated conferences, and it could be the ACC if all of their teams at the top are having a good season. I'm not saying you're outlawed from it. I'm also not giving that to the Big Ten or the SEC. The same way that they rank the top 25 in the college football playoff selection committee room, they'll rank the top conferences. If your conference is one of the 2 top conferences, you get an auto bid. If you make the championship game, and if you win it, you get a bye.
And you know what? When ranking these conferences, sorry ACC, sorry Big 12, sorry everyone who's not the Big 10 or the SEC.
It's not going to happen.
You don't have the benefit of the doubt.
No.
How do you get it? You schedule tough non-conference games.
Yes.
And that's how you set the precedent from the beginning to the end because they don't do these CFP rankings until well past halfway conference play.
Yeah.
So you can schedule tough SEC games on the road or at home, a home and home. Who cares?
Yeah.
You can schedule those tough games to prove that your record in conference is validated by some outside influence.
You can make it, this thing is going to be subjective. You can make an objective case for yourself, like you said, strong out-of-conference games and just having programs be on the up and up on a year in and year out basis. If SMU can become a mainstay in college football, does Rhett Lashley have that kind of pull to make that a power program? They're in Texas. The model is there. We've seen TCU do it. We've seen a team like, I'm thinking of I blanked on it.
Baylor?
Utah do it. We've seen Baylor do it. Can Rhett Lashley do that for SMU? And by the way, we've seen SMU do it.
Yeah.
They just cheated a little bit. back when that was cheating. I think they can. So think about it. If you get an SMU team that's up, Florida State finds their way again. Miami, can Cristobal keep this thing going? Clemson, can Dabo finally open up the transfer portal? Yeah, there's going to be a year or two in there where you might be able to contend because now all you need is one other team to leap up with you, and you got 5 teams that are strong, and you can surpass the Big Ten if Michigan has a down year, if Penn State loses a couple of games. Like, everybody's going to have a chance in this the same way that they do right now. The difference is I don't want to hear what we heard from Lane Kiffin, and that is coaches deprioritizing a conference championship game, not just any conference championship game, the conference championship game that happens annually in Atlanta and should be must-see TV. They should not be avoiding that game because they're afraid of what the consequences could be.
No, that's college basketball. Like, those conference championship games do not matter.
Yeah.
Like, whatsoever. Maybe once every 5 years, you have an NC State situation in the ACC where now it's truly win or go home. They need to steal a bid by winning these next 5 games, let alone just that championship game. That's a very once in a blue moon you see that. And with how many teams are in the tournament, okay, that's cool. But when we start, bumping out teams that we know could make a run and win a national championship in the football, that's when you mess with me.
Yeah.
We don't need the feel-good stories in college football.
No.
Maybe that's where my priorities stand because I'm a bigger college football fan than I am a basketball fan.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
No.
Let the adults talk in the room.
Yeah. I'm sorry, little guy. Little guy. You'll get your chance one day. All right, get you a big name quarterback in there, get you a little NIL base, and maybe you have a one-off year, lightning in the bottle, and you can contend. Do Cincinnati.
And you know what's probably going to happen? I think all of these arguments about this year and even next year, it's all going to be a moot point because we're going to look at what the conferences look like in 2027, and they'll be vastly different.
Yeah, everything's changing.
ACC might just have a disastrous turn for the worse where Florida State's unhappy with the money. I believe they're still unhappy with the money, and they take their talents
Well, you know what, Florida State? We're unhappy with your football. You're unhappy with the money. We're unhappy with your product. Fix that first, and we can see about the money. Crybabies over there in Tallahassee. Oh, we won out of the ACC. It looked like you won out of the Power 5 in general. Damn.
It's
like, what the hell?
This season has had a lot of headlines, and it's going to get lost in a crowded season. Florida State was a top 10 team in week 0.
They better beat Charles Southern.
What was it? Well,
Southern.
They can't leave us out now. That was the whole thing for the Seminoles fans. And the season has been so bad. I am a Florida State hater just in general. That's not even fun to do it anymore.
It isn't. I don't like
it felt weird the
them.
past 30 seconds making fun of them there. Like, what did they do to deserve that right now?
They don't. You know what?
Every Saturday they get punished.
Right. Even on the Saturdays they don't play. Getting killed in recruiting too. I have no hate in my heart for Florida State. Even as a Miami guy, I have no hate in my heart for Florida State fans or that team. I actually like Mike Norvell as a guy. It just is hilarious to me that they did all that whining and crying and complaining and to have that to be followed with this kind of season. I can't wait to see the documentary. Ooh. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. What's your one simple fix to the 12-team college football playoff? We gave ours. It's bulletproof. What's yours? Also, would you like to see Ray Lewis coach FAU? I'm curious. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more about visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. C-Cat, I do have a theory. In which what led to Adam Schefter's tweet, which has now been debunked by several sources around FAU through several different outlets and reporters. Not myself. My sources didn't get back to me. But Ray Lewis to FAU has been debunked. Adam Schefter tweeted that out this morning. It sent a lot of headlines around this area. Of course, Tom Herman just got fired. What was that, yesterday? And FAU, once again, on a head coaching search, they usually go for big names. Think Lane Kiffin, think Partridge, think, what was it? My guy from Florida State.
Willie Taggart.
And then, of course, Tom Herman, who is now fired after a couple of seasons, really a season and a half there. The Ray Lewis news, even when I saw it, I knew it was probably not going to happen. And I knew it was probably a bit, it probably was like a very casual thing. But here's what makes me think that Schefter tweeted that based on some good information he actually got from somebody, a trusted person. First of all, it's Adam Schefter, NFL insider. He generally doesn't just flippantly put these things out here and is wrong. You did bring up the one case, right?
Yeah, back maybe 4 years ago when the Browns were looking for their next head coach, Schefter tweeted out maybe Condoleezza Rice was an opportunity for Cleveland. She was being considered, Condoleezza Rice, who's in politics.
Yeah. I don't understand.
That's code for I don't know what Condoleezza Rice actually does.
Yeah, right. I mean, she was like what was it, like Secretary of something, I'm sure. I don't remember, man.
Secretary of State, former United States Secretary of State, 40 years old. No, not 40, 70 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know she was that old now.
Looking good, Condoleezza.
Kinda easy. All right, so yeah, Ray Lewis to the FAU Owls has a similar vibe to you. Here's what I'll say. I'm connecting the dots. This is what you do when you're a reporter and you understand, too. You're like, oh, this is how this news stuff breaks, and this is how things get leaked. FAU had a huge event last night on the basketball side. They hosted Prolific Prep, which is a huge high school basketball team out of California. Prolific Prep flew down to Florida. They had a 3-game swing in which they played Columbus High School out of Miami. Columbus has multiple 5-stars on their team, headlined by Cameron and Caden Boozer. They're the twin sons of Carlos Boozer, NBA All-Star.
Yes, shiny head,
Beijing.
Bulls guy.
Yeah, Bulls. Yeah, really, he was the Jazz guy, but became the Bulls guy after that huge free agency in which LeBron and, the Big Three happened. He went over to the Bulls. So anyways, Boozer was in the house. It was a star-studded affair, and of course, there were 7 5-stars on the court. Huge game. Was a lot of fun. But also, another person that was there at FAU last night, Dusty May.
Where do I recognize that name?
Dusty May, the head coach formerly from FAU, now of Michigan, who led FAU to a Final Four appearance a couple of years ago, and that was a huge deal. Was one shot away from making a national championship game. Dusty May was in appearance because he had a kid on one of the other teams, the team from California that's committed to Michigan. He was checking him out courtside, and, of course, the FAU ties. I say all of that to say Adam Schefter is a proud Michigan man. And those Michigan men, especially in sports media and around sports, they tend to stick together. It's the reason why Stephen Ross, owner of the Dolphins, Michigan man, was out there publicly flirting with Tom Brady, and that's what got him in trouble, and that's how they lost that first-round pick, right? Like, they're always connected. They're always talking. There's these back channels. They're all in cahoots. Last night, as all those Michigan men were in the building, so was leadership. Let's just say leadership. I want to protect people here. Leadership from FAU that might have some decision-making things and who's the next football coach at Florida Atlantic. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying Ray Lewis was an actual candidate for FAU. But what I am saying is, if there was a flippant conversation between Ray Lewis and a couple of people, and if that conversation got talked about that night in front of some Michigan folk, and then the next morning, one of the most proud Michigan men and one of the most connected dudes in all of sports breaks that news randomly, an NFL guy breaking college football news that's also not followed up with an article, just a tweet in the picture, I'm going to assume some FAU people accidentally leaked some things about Ray Lewis and some conversations to some Michigan men. It got to Schefter. He tweets that out, and then they immediately started talking to all of their reporters to refute the claims. I don't think FAU is going to hire Ray Lewis as their next head coach, but I do think that Ray Lewis, being a guy that lives in Wellington, has been a Palm Beach County resident for a while, maybe there has been a conversation or two. Maybe it's been casual. Maybe it's been Ray Lewis and his team reaching out about it and FAU not taking him seriously. I will say, I don't think Schefter tweets that out without getting some information.
You think Ray Lewis would wear the eye black on the sideline if he was the head coach? That would be so sick.
Of course he would, and he'd have Michael Irving down there on all fours. And Ed Reed roaming around, banging his head against things. Like, it would be a insane insane. I'm rooting for Ray Lewis to have some part in the coaching staff at FAU because it would be fun for all. Imagine the pregame speeches.
Exactly. In the tunnel. I don't think he would do the dance. I think that
he would have to do the dance.
No, I think he would pass it along to a star defensive player who would do the dance.
Oh, that's a heavy burden to bear. To be the kid
to be good at football or to do the dance well?
Not to do the dance well. I mean, a lot of people can emulate that dance. It was an easy dance.
Fair.
Very fun, very energetic, easy dance to emulate. If you're the one doing that dance, your ass better not get shook in the a-hole. Like you better not end up looking foolish, especially if you're a linebacker, if you're doing the Ray Lewis dance before the game.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of a tough pill to swallow.
Yes.
I think we should campaign for Ray Lewis to FAU. I don't think it's very professional in our job to lobby for someone to get a job with someone we do partnerships with and we support and all that. But I want to put out a video of everyone in this office doing the Ray Lewis chipmunk dance to get Ray Lewis to FAU.
Is it called chipmunk?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the chipmunk dance, Ray Lewis.
I didn't know it was called chipmunk. I mean, I know that. Yeah, I didn't know it was called the chip. I love it. I absolutely love it. Whenever people break it out, I'm like, that's a great callback. I'm a big fan of Ray Lewis as a Miami Hurricane fan. Okay.
It's a squirrel dance.
Squirrel. Okay. That makes
You can
sense.
see why I got that wrong, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not even criticizing you. You're starting to get defensive now.
No, but squirrel chipmunk.
Yeah, you're good. You're cool.
Then
Cool,
Alvin, man. Theodore,
Yeah,
third.
That's me.
And their female counterparts. Those are the chipmunks I was thinking of.
Alvin
and the
Theodore.
chipmunks. Yeah.
You don't remember Simon?
Simon. You
called him the third?
Yeah, and the female counterparts.
I don't remember the female counterpart name.
You didn't watch the second.
I didn't. As a guy named Theo who has had enough of those Theo chipmunk jokes thrown at him his whole life, I don't care to consume any more Alvin and the Chipmunks content any more than I'm forced to consume. But I do like the series, and the movie's good.
The Squeakquel. The Chipettes is what they're referred to.
Yeah. What's her name? Alicia.
Brittany, Jeanette, and Eleanor. Those are the female chipmunks.
Nice.
The Chipettes, sorry.
The Chipettes. You got it. Yeah. Come on, dude.
I think it works.
No, it does not work.
I mean, they never actually explicitly said that they were female. They just happened to be attracted to the male chipmunks.
Yeah, and happen to have like features that would make you assume they're female-y.
Yeah, I can't really pick apart a male chipmunk from a female chipmunk off the street.
Right,
But
like,
yeah.
I feel like all squirrels are males. I know that's just not true.
Squirrels male, chipmunks female.
Right?
I think we're onto something.
We might
here.
be onto something. Squirrels are dudes, and chipmunks are women or female.
Mice could
be
either.
Could be no. First of all, a mouse is a rat and a rat and a mouse. All of them is ugly, and I am not. Mouse ain't cute. Rat ain't cute. But you're right. Rat is more of like a dude, and a mouse is more kind of like squeak squeak. It's kind of like
Yeah. Rat roaming the streets of New York, grabbing the pizza off the sidewalk.
That's a dude.
You ever encounter a rat?
Yes.
DC
got rats too. And I've spent a lot of time in DC.
The only rats I've ever seen was once on a subway in New York, just in like the track where you normally would see them. Saw it once there, and a second time I saw it maybe across the road in New Orleans. That was
across the road.
Yeah, that's how big it was. You could just see him it was dark out, street lights, just showing a shadow on a rat. Woo.
Nothing worse than a fat rat. Just seeing a fat, creepy rat on the street. It's dark.
Ooh. I saw a house in my significant other's like apartment complex was getting tented for rats.
Tented?
And yeah, like in Breaking Bad.
Okay, yeah. So
pest
they have
control tent.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, wait a second. These aren't like individual houses. These are townhouses.
Yeah.
So they're all connected. And you can connect the dots. Like a rat wouldn't have to fly to get from point A to point B.
No.
It could walk from roof to roof and eventually get to that spot.
Yeah.
But apparently they shut it down and no more rats anywhere else. They contained it.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a disaster movie, a zombie apocalypse. They got the rats in one spot and neutralized them there.
You got to get the rats in one spot and neutralize them. That's if there was one rat, if we saw one rat in this office, I wouldn't come back until I knew all the rats have been dealt with.
Ooh, imagine rats got some weight to them,
That's
man.
what I'm saying. What if that ran up your leg? Remember the lizard just ran up your leg. What if a rat? Jordan in the YouTube chat says, "Alrighty, guys, what are we even talking about? We're talking about rats.
Wednesday, dude.
It's Wednesday. There's no football tonight. What do we want to talk about? The Cavs and the Hawks? What do you want us to talk about? Steph Curry and him hitting more than 21.5 points? Which, by the way, on Prize Picks, please Please hit more than on that. It's a good one. It's a gimme. Come on, we're talking about rats.
Yeah, we're talking about rats, and go back to the Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel with the Chipettes, the female counterparts to the male Chipmunks.
Yes.
They got some good voice actors for the female Chipmunks.
Talk to me.
So we're talking about Kaylee Cuoco. Think about Big Bang Theory. That like the the female lead in that one. Christina Applegate. You know, I know who she is. I can't pick her out of a lineup, but I know she's
Sounds
important.
like a name, yeah.
And then we also have Anna Faris.
Anna Faris.
Big scary movie actress and many other things as well.
Yeah. That's a big budget Squeakquel.
Yeah. Brittany, Jeanette, and Eleanor.
I said A-gap. Paul. I said A-gap.
Yeah, we are on offense. It's the 1, 2, 3,
I
4, 5, 6
I
hole.
mixed two. I know. I
don't know ball.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
We should take a break now.
Yeah, let's go to break. I don't even want to associate one of our lovely partners with that. On the other side, we got the get around, and we will not be filling any A-gaps in the meantime. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
College basketball is coming to Rise. Catch a thrilling doubleheader at 2024 AutoNation Orange Bowl Basketball Classic. Be there at Amerant Bank Arena on Saturday, December 14th as the UCF Knights take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the Florida State Seminoles battle the Tulane Green Wave. Tip-off is at 2 p.m. Bring the whole family for a pregame party on the plaza. 1 ticket, 2 college basketball matchups. Tickets start at just $20. Get yours now at orangebowl.org.
F45 Training West Palm Beach offers functional group fitness classes reimagined. Sign up for F45 today and visit their West Palm Beach location. Featuring high-intensity group workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven, F45 always has the right workout for you. Not to mention, it takes just 45 minutes. Visit F45training.com today to find a studio near you and officially join the F45 Training family. F45, team training, life-changing.
ESPN 106.3 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy football team, not so much.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay.
Let's go! Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3.
Tickets are on sale now for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. South Florida's only PGA Tour event returns to PGA National February 26th through March 2nd. Watch your favorite golfers compete on the Champions Course while enjoying a new on-site experience filled with local bites, craft cocktails, fan activities, and more. Get ready for a week to remember. Secure your tickets now at thecognizantclassic.com.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Start your day with Unsportsmanlike, then let Russo and Rizzo argue like it's a family reunion. Catch them weekdays at 4 on ESPN 106.3.
Ouch! Stop it! ESPN 106.3 is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
They can help you if you're in an accident, but your fantasy football team, not so much.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
Palm Beach County's premier college football event is back. Don't miss the 2024 Boca Raton Bowl, Wednesday, December 18th from FAU Stadium and broadcast live on ESPN. Last year's game saw in-state Rising Power USF beat Syracuse out of the ACC. What will this year's game have in store? Big names, big teams, big action. The 2024 Boca Raton Bowl, December 18th at FAU Stadium on ESPN. Don't miss out. Find out more at BocaRatonBowl.com.
This Thanksgiving, don't let extra pounds steal your joy. At HexisMD.com, enjoy the feast without fear of calories sticking around. They offer semaglutide and trizepatide. No insurance needed. Picture yourself feeling lighter and more energized. Give yourself the gift of confidence and health this holiday season with HexisMD. Join thousands already transforming their lives. Visit HexisMD.com today. That's HEXISMD.com. Your partner in a healthier, happier you. Use discount code ESPN50 for 50% off your first order.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
I got to tell y'all about Prize Picks. We're going to get to the FAU stuff. We're going to get back a little bit to Ray Lewis, and we have a get around parked in this segment for you. I do got to tell y'all about Prize Picks because as basketball heats up and we're still in the midst of football season, you're going to want to make some scratch on the edges that you do have. I do have to say, we have our FAU Ravens, Heat, Oilers, Panthers, Madrid superfan here who says, as a Ravens fan and an FAU alumnus, I would cry if we got Ray Lewis. I'm praying we get him. There's a taste for it here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. People want Doug Social. People want Terry Braden Jr. People want Ray Lewis. Let's get them all here. None of those can be found on Prize Picks, but your favorite players in your favorite leagues can be, and their projections will as well. Prize Picks is simple. It's America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Between 2 and 6 different player projections, you hit more or you hit less on those stat projections. And with as little as 4 correct picks, you can win up to 100x your money. 100 times your good bread that you're putting in the Prize Picks with just 4. As little as 4 correct picks, you can do up to 6. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money sports action. You can join over 10 million users and sign up today. When you do sign up, use promo code THEOD. Use promo code THEOD. We have it right here on our Prize Picks presented YouTube stream, THEOD. That gives you a free $50 with a $5 lineup play, promo code THEOD. And again, they sometimes will give you a bit of a discount on the player stat projection. Tonight, Steph Curry's stat, his points, they baked it down to 21.5. You hit more than on 21.5 on Steph Curry's points. This is a few three-pointers away, like that. That dude can score it in a hurry, in a flurry. Curry. Player projections like that can be the way that you make big bank on your favorite games, football, basketball, even Call of Duty. You can make sure you can enter lineups on all of these things. Prize Picks, run your game, and remember, promo code THEOD.
Yeah, our intern, Jacob, I'm looking at the slip right now. A 6-pick, $20 to win $500 last week.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley, points, rebounds, assist, hit the more than on that. Cam Thomas, more than 24 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., more than 30.5 points and rebounds. Chad Holmgren, more than 26 points and rebounds.
Yeah.
Jarrett Allen, less than points and rebounds, and Bam Adebayo to take it all home.
Less than, huh?
More than.
Really?
30 points, rebounds, and assisted this last week. $20 to win $500.
Crazy.
Easy, man.
Crazy.
And that was like on a promo bet, too, or on a promo projection.
Yeah.
Because they were like, hey, Jacob, you like Prize Picks? We like you. Here's a little free stuff.
Yeah. And when they give you that, sometimes it's Flex Fridays where you give you get a risk-free Friday entry for up to $20. I play those all the time, especially in the NBA, because you can really take it home, especially when you go like points plus assist or points plus rebounds, and you know a guy's going to have a big night. He's playing against somebody he doesn't like. It is a very fun way to watch games and have a little skin in those games as well. We're talking a little Ray Lewis. We're talking FAU football. We're also going to hop on that vehicle that gets us from point A to point B every single day here on Theoretically Speaking. It is the Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know?
The Get Around today brought to you by Duffy's Sports Grill. I mean, Duffy's has 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day, so obviously that's one reason to go there. But they also have 80 or more televisions in every single Duffy's location. If you want to get around in South Florida and you want to be in a place where you can not just see, but you can eat good food and you can watch your favorite action and you can drink 2-for-1 drinks, Duffy's Sports Grill, Duffy'sMVP.com. Log on right now, Duffy'sMVP.com. Become a rewards member like I am. Become an MVP like CCAT is. And then when you step into that building and you start tracking your awards and you buy those award-winning burgers, those jumbo wings, when you get your hands on the gridiron nachos, you're stacking up paper too. You're stacking up rewards, getting full, having a good time, and becoming maybe a 2-time MVP, a 3-time MVP. Might have to make some room in that trophy case. Duffy'sMVP.com. At Duffy's, our game is always on, CCAT.
I'm looking at these holiday spirits at your nearest Duffy's. We're talking Jack Apple, new fashioned. Play on the old fashioned.
Yeah,
a peppermint martini. But what I'm excited for is the double eggnog. Ooh, creamy eggnog, smooth Woodford Reserve bourbon, topped with whipped cream and cinnamon.
Hey.
That sounds good because you don't just get one, you get 2 for the price of 1.
2 for 1. All day, every day. Ain't got to check your watch. Ain't got to ask the waiter or waitress what day it is. 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day.
Next stop.
We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, where in the chat, I believe Jalen was talking about there's a lot of rats.
A lot of rats in Charlotte.
A lot of rats in Charlotte, maybe figuratively and literally.
Also, they don't call their downtown. They call it uptown.
I honestly don't know the literal meaning of downtown. It's the southernmost point of the town.
I thought downtown is, to me, it generally means like the center point of all the businesses where all the buildings are. I'm not sure why we always call it downtown. I think we should agree as a nation that we all call every city's action point downtown. I don't like how people try to do uptown in Charlotte. And then in New Orleans, you want to know what they call it in New Orleans?
What? No.
It's ridiculous. They call it the CBD. The Central Business District.
Yes, I should have known that. That's where my girlfriend lives, and I lived for about a month and a half. She lived for a full year. I didn't know that's what they called it.
I hate that. Also, now that like CBD is a commonly used phrase, it's silly that they still use that. But yeah, if you go to New Orleans today, I just went a few months ago, family event, CBD. No, it's downtown, damn it. Where we at?
Next stop.
We're in Charlotte, North Carolina,
uptown.
Because after Justin Tucker missed 2 kicks over the weekend, you watched it on Red Zone, you felt my pain. Panthers kicker Eddie Pinheiro became the most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL.
Serves him right. Justin Tucker no longer a first ballot Hall of Famer. He'll get in there one day. But he's really ruining his legacy right now. And shout out Eddie. I guess there are good things happening in Charlotte around football. It ain't going to be nothing good for him this weekend when the Chiefs come to town and smack that ass.
Next stop.
Let's go to L.A. because Dalton Knecht tied an NBA rookie record with 9 3-pointers made and tallied 37 points for the Lakers last night in a win. LeBron James, I got to know, because we know LeBron has a hand in what goes on that roster.
Yeah.
How did the Lakers find this guy from Tennessee?
They didn't find DK. The other 16 teams it up. Did anybody watch him?
Yeah, LeBron, how did y'all decide on that second round pick y'all got? Did they find Bronny James? What was the tie-in there, LeBron? Also, Dalton Connect, he has the two best nicknames in basketball, and it's not close at all. Connect 4.
Easy, yes.
And West Side Connect.
I don't get the reference, but I trust it's good.
Next stop.
Going to Philly. The Heat sent the Sixers in one of the earliest coming to Jesse meetings of all time. Coming to Jesus moment? Is that what?
Coming to Jesus moment? Yeah. It's
Okay.
just. Yeah. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't have wrote that for you. I guess it's.
Is coming to Jesse a phrase?
Jesse?
Is coming to Jesse moments?
I put Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be Jesus.
Well, they had a players-only meeting because the Heat beat the Sixers that bad after the 106-89 win. The Sixers are now 2-11.
Ugh.
Tyrese Maxey reportedly calling out Joel Embiid. It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a complete mess. I think I didn't finish writing that one for you, so I appreciate you closing it out. What I will say is, if Joel Embiid doesn't respond tonight, because I know Maxey's still out. He's coming back from an injury. If he doesn't respond tonight in a big way and look like an MVP, like, this team was the third strongest team coming into the year in projections. Their win total was 51.5. Embiid has to make a statement. I'm all the way out on them already, but he has to, because I don't even have words for what would happen in Philadelphia if he is not the one carrying the torch, unless he is too injured to keep playing, which I believe to be the case.
Next stop.
We're back here in West Palm Beach at the City of Champions because we reside where Kaiser University resides.
We do. And lucky us, because we get really close proximity to a team that is not only the reigning champions in the NAIA with football, but also they have the number 1 overall seed. They led the nation, number 1 seed from the preseason on through the final of the year. The Kaiser football team, coming off of that championship, has been ranked number 1. Every single week when the NAIA came out with their poll, number 1, number 1, number 1, number 1. Now they have a bye week in the football championship series. They're not going to kick things off until the second round of the NAIA football championship series. They'll be at home November 30th. KUSeahawks.com to tap into Kaiser football to see how you can get your hands on those tickets, and also to wait and see who they're going to be playing on November 30th. You can also go to ESPN West Palm Play to check out our story on Kaiser and Selection Sunday. On the other side, Prize Picks. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Have you been injured in an Uber or Lyft accident? Rubenstein Law has been representing accident victims for 35 years. We're proud to have a fully English and Spanish-speaking firm with 20 offices in Florida, New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. We've recovered billions for our clients. We fight rideshare companies. If you've been injured in an Uber or Lyft accident, call us now. Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. Office in West Palm Beach. We're open on weekends, too.
Good people. It's your boy Theo Dorsey, and let me tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. Think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards next week? How about Lamar Jackson? More than 1.5 touchdowns. Cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. Download the app today and use code THEOD to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code THEOD and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
Hurricane fans, the final game of the season is here. Join us on November 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium as the Hurricanes take on the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's Senior Day, a day to honor the incredible players who have given their all to the U. Let's give them a send-off they'll never forget and fill the stadium with Hurricanes pride. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today by visiting MiamiHurricanes.com or by calling 1-800-GO-CANES.
Hey, it's Tina. The Pickleball Club of St. Lucie West is now open. Join an amazing club that offers indoor championship quality courts and premium amenities that enhance your game. Whether you're new to pickleball, like me, or an experienced player, young or old, the Pickleball Club's world-class experience is more than just a game. It's a community where you can play, dine, and make new friends. Memberships are now available. Visit thepickleballclub.com for more information and to schedule your tour today.
The Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, an affiliate of the Palm Beach Health Network, is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com, pbhnphysiciangroup.com, to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramawPB.com.
And we're back here on Theoretically Speaking, giving out some prize picks plays of the day. We're starting off in basketball, and we're going to start with a deep cut here. We have Jalen Green for the Rockets going up against the Indiana Pacers. They have his three-pointers made. Actually, you know what? I don't like the three-pointers made one. I'm going to go straight to his points, rebounds, assists, more than 30.5. Indiana Pacers, they play fast-paced. The Rockets will keep up with them, and Jalen Green is a chucker. 30.5.5. I'm going more on that, and the easiest one of tonight, to me, is Evan Mobley, more than points and assists. More than points and assists, or if you like more than points and rebounds as well. Darius Garland out tonight for the Cavs. Evan Mobley going to pick up the slack with his scoring, and he fills up the box score around that. Those are two plays of the day for me with Prize Picks. Make sure you do promo code THEOD on Prize Picks to tap in. Tonight, CCAT, we're getting ready to go to the House West Palm. Trivia is tonight at 6 o'clock. Make plans to get there. Meet us there at the park. We're going to be giving out trivia. We're going to have a big contest. It's going to get packed. Make sure you get there early. We're starting the trivia at 6 o'clock prompt. Get there on time so that we can make sure we start on time. We get everybody settled in. Some gift cards will be on the line and bragging rights. We're going to give a big shout to the team that wins tonight, tomorrow on Theoretically Speaking. We got to give out that code word.
And what does this award you? 5 points of trivia?
5 points of trivia. And you know what? 5 points of trivia. And I might actually just have a gift card for you as well. I'm not allowed to say that, but this will be from me, not from the station. I might just have a little something for you so you can get yourself a drink. But 5 points of trivia officially if you say the code word, which is Espresso Martina. That's it. Say that and I got you.
That's Espresso Martino with an A at the end.
Tina. If you say Teeny, you ain't getting it. Go in love.
Fight fans, make Twin Peaks your UFC fight headquarters. The official fight headquarters is Twin Peaks. Never, ever a cover. All fight organizations, all boxing, doesn't matter. Never pay to watch the fights. Plus, eat, drink, scenic views, and Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beer made from scratch favorites while watching all the fights. And did I say never pay a cover? That's Twin Peaks, Pembroke Pines, Cypress Creek, Hollywood, Davie, and of course, Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard in West Palm Beach. Your ultimate UFC fight headquarters, Twin Peaks.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Dolphin fans, my name is Colin Russo, and this is your Miami Dolphins Minute. Well, the Miami Dolphins are on a bit of a win streak here as they took down the Las Vegas Raiders for their second win in a row at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday by a score of 34-19. The Dolphins offense got back to doing what's expected of them, and Tua Tagovailoa had his best game of the season thus far. He finished 28 of 36 for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Jonnu Smith got behind everybody. Wow.
Jonnu Smith got going, eclipsing 100-plus yards and 2 scores. Tyreek Hill also had a score on the day, as the Dolphins are starting to claw their way back a bit into the thick of the AFC. They now sit at 4-6. They stay at home this week to take on the Patriots on Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium, 1 p.m. kick. That was your Miami Dolphins Minute, presented by Hard Rock Bet. It's Florida's official sports book. For the first time ever in Florida, bet on the Dolphins all season long. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if that first bet does not win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMINUTE.
Mark your calendars and gear up for game day this Sunday, November 24th. Join Bud Light and the ESPN West Palm Street team at Uncle Mick's in Jupiter. Catch all the action as the New England Patriots face off against the Miami Dolphins from 1 to 3. Showcase your football skills for a chance to win Bud Light prizes. Enjoy specials on Bud Light and neutrals all game long. Must be 21 or older to participate. Southern Eagle reminds you to please drink responsibly.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by